However, shortly after that video, he released his debut album Young Genius, and it didn't do too well.
Not gonna lie, man, Mabu, this shit is dreadful. Dreadful is crazy.
People thought the album was very bad, and I can't say I disagree with them.
Dang. What? I'm mad you made me have to listen to that, bro. That sounds like something a TikToker would make as a skit song.
Now, I'm not saying his career is dead. It's very possible he could fix this, but
I think I'm cool on that. Like, I'm good. I'm not wishing his career dies, but it's definitely not gonna get a listen from me.
Racist against rappers, they all look the same to him. They used to beg him not to egg him on Halloween. You told him holler back with the suede Pumas, dollar green. Nah, I mean, heat it up till the temperature tarball. Y'all just gawk like gargoyle.
Let's do the gimmick.
What do all of these artists have in common? They all utilize gimmicks in their music careers, some more so than others. In the age of social media, gimmicks have been more and more relied upon by artists to the point where they are nothing more than a walking gimmick. Without this gimmick, no one pays attention to their music. And this seems to have plagued many artists, especially recently. So join me today as we look into the gimmick rapper curse. But
yeah, bro, because they got no type of longevity.
First, we need to understand what a gimmick rapper is. The definition of gimmick is a trick or device intended to attract attention, publicity, or business. Other definitions say a gimmick is what helps you stand out. And there's nothing inherently wrong with utilizing gimmicks. It's actually a good thing. Every artist or rapper utilizes gimmicks
Lil Toe, bro, come on now.
To some extent, and they have been forever. It's basically just marketing. Eminem had his whole controversial Slim Shady thing. MF Doom wore a mask and had this whole hip-hop supervillain persona.
But it's different for them, I feel like, because of just the amount of raw talent that they truly had. Like, not just lyrically or musically, but also creatively as a whole, because they were able to play the character correctly to where, it didn't seem as too corny,
Very common in hip-hop and pretty much every other genre. And when it's done right, it can really complement the artist's career. Of course, though, the word gimmick has some nuance and is usually meant with negative connotations. That's why today we aren't looking into people who did it right. We're going to be looking into people who relied too much on a gimmick and saw the consequences.
I think that's only fair.
So let's look into some gimmick rappers. Mario Judah is the epitome of a gimmick rapper. He first blew up with the song Die Very Rough, which, while he may have not intended for it to become a gimmick, it definitely did. This song spawned a ton of memes. And if you guys
I hate niggas so much.
Don't remember, they were pretty funny.
Found you, nigga. Don't you run from me, little nigga.
The song,
I ain't gonna lie, the Mario Judah video that I have is the most disliked video on my channel for some reason.
blew up because of how funny it was, along with going very viral on Twitter and TikTok. He later performed at Rolling Loud that same year because of how viral he was going, in which he doubled down on the gimmick.
Yeah, this guy, I don't even know if this is him. Yo, you mind taking the Illuminati hood off him? Yeah, but oh shit. Respect. I definitely
will die. The enemies will die.
So
look at Drewski's face.
Explain this. This is one question I got for you. When you say nigga, a lot of people are assuming that's got to be racist. There's no way.
Mario Judah was weird, goofy, had a strange look, and said and did strange things. People were paying a whole lot more attention to these things than his actual music. And that is when a gimmick has gone too far. He did drop a few more rockstar rap songs, but they didn't do
How dare you steal my name like that? My fault, gang. I'll talk to my mom later.
nearly as well as Die Very Rough. But rather than working on his craft and deciding to create good music, he decided to start another gimmick. The same year as all the Die Very Rough virality, he announced that he was going to be releasing Playboi Carti's Whole Lotta Red album for him, since Carti was taking so long.
It was impressive, but he did absolutely like hoe himself, because he became the Playboi Carti stan guy. And though that's the worst thing about being a rapper, is like your image is so important. And real talk, like, the way people perceive you is really important in rap and hip hop. And if people just perceive you as just a crazy fanboy, He's crazy, bro.
long to drop it. At first, fans were eating this up because at the time it was pretty entertaining.
I'm just saying, like, 2 years, money, and niggas still ain't dropped their album.
Exactly.
Sorry I had to come to this, bro. I wish you would have.
It's tough because it sounds unironically good, but it's like it just made him look like such a huge fan.
Dropped it. Like, you know how bad niggas want to hear that shit? Like, really bad, nigga.
Mario Judah gave Cardi a week to drop the album on December 6th, and then caught the world by
This is not only funny as hell, but actually good. The instrumental bangs, his vocals are good. This in the same way as Cardi. This motherfucker is a professional clown.
surprise when he dropped a single
This is
that
what I
actually
told you,
sounded
bro.
like Cardi the same day, called Booyah. To be fair, the song was an amazing replica of Playboi Carti's old sound and style, and people were pretty impressed.
I told you.
But they weren't impressed enough to check out the rest of Mario Judah's version of Whole Lotta Red, as the EP didn't
Love my slats.
do all that well. Mario Judah was not even 6 months into his career, and he had already milked 2 gimmicks dry. The strange rock star
That's insane.
Die Very Rough gimmick and the fake Playboi Carti gimmick.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for him, he didn't have the catalog to back it up. Mario Judah
Yeah, that you can't do stuff like that if like that's the only thing that's gonna be attached to your name. Like, come on, bro. How you gonna drop a Playboi Carti EP before you drop your own EP? Like, come on, Mario. Come on, bro.
in my honest opinion, was talented. He had a cool, unique vocal sound. He was able to replicate styles, and he was good at producing beats, because if you didn't know, he produced the majority of his beats.
Yeah.
But rather than making his own original music, he was
He made a copycat as a joke, as a meme. And you know, memes, sometimes they don't last that long, bro.
copying Cardi, doing remixes, and fiending for more attention. I covered this before, but he literally faked domestic abuse in an attempt to promote one of his songs. The
I didn't even know that.
novelty of his gimmicks dried up, and he was left with nothing. His latest project, Endure, has most songs barely cracking 100K plays on Spotify. This is the
Wow.
danger of relying too heavily on gimmicks, because if the music isn't there,
This nigga.
the fans
Of course you would excitedly hold a machete.
are gonna split, especially with how
Are you using a machete to cut a freeze pop?
short everyone's attention span is. Mario Judah was viewed more as a walking meme than an actual artist. In my
Yeah.
opinion, someone who did it right in comparison is Young Gravy, who very much so blew up due to the meme rap era, but is still
Yeah. Even though I don't really like Young Gravy that much anymore, like he do got a couple songs. Like I like his song with Lil Baby. I think that goes crazy.
around today. Young Gravy also heavily relies on gimmicks, but he has stuff to back it up.
He loves trying to smash your auntie.
Literally blew up from songs like One Thought, Two Thought, Red Thought, Blue Thought.
It sounds so stupid. And Roy Purdy, I don't know where this dude went.
It was not serious whatsoever. His gimmicks include talking about MILFs, talking about thoughts, talking about
Yeah.
gravy trains, being really tall,
Gravy train.
having nice hair, and being really handsome. But because he's funny and his music is alright, he has been able to remain relevant. His most recent hit, Betty Get Money, was a product of him hopping on the trend of making a mediocre song on top of an already really popular sample. Like, you know, Jack Harlow did, Meghan Trainor did, and
Yeah, I hate that so much.
plenty of
bro.
others have done before. Gravy knows how to make people care about him, like by hanging around people
He is tall, or is Moist Critical just short?
who he knows have similar audiences, which grows that bond. And honestly,
How tall is Young Gravy? Because now I'm about to really be curious. Height. 6'8". Jesus Christ.
I do think Gravy has a handful of decent songs. So while both of them are known for being pretty funny and entertaining, Gravy was able to utilize gimmicks to take advantage and remain relevant, which is exactly where Mario Judah went wrong. Lil Mabu is another rapper who has relied heavily
I can say with 100% happiness that I've never listened to a Lil Mabu song outside of a TikTok sound clip it.
on gimmicks for his entire career, and it seems like his gimmick may also be drying up. Lil Mabu started his rap career as your average high school kid singing with autotune on SoundCloud.
Up, I got gushers in my lean, foreigns whizzing down the road.
Eventually, though, he decided to switch to drill music,
Wow.
a much more aggressive and violent subgenre
I got gushers in my lean.
of rap. Wikipedia describes it as lyrically similar to the gangster rap subgenre. So,
Wow, that's such a
Mabu-
that's such an out of touch way of describing that. Okay.
getting in on this was pretty interesting. He started developing this whole persona of being a preppy, nerdy white kid who was living a double life as a gangster rapper.
Oh, like that one kid from the what's that one? What's that little meme? It was like, I'm off to pursue my educational prowess. Yeah, is that what he's like?
Okay, Father, I'm darting off to pursue my educational prowess.
Okay, son, don't dilly-dally. I'll be home late. It's my bridge night.
I'll see you later. Bye. Yo, what's up, B? How you feeling? What's going on? Yo, let's bounce, son.
Hi, DJ.
Yo, son, where you get them sneakers? Them joints is hot, son.
This is Lil Mabu. Okay, understood.
3, it was bringing him a ton of attention. It's obvious throughout all of his content that this is the image he is going for.
Yo, Favi, I got a question. Can I do a hit on a scooter?
Now, it's very obvious that Lil Mabu isn't a gangster, but for some reason, a lot of people ate this up. He also utilized TikTok a lot, which is a method that has been really useful in pushing a gimmick. For example, his song Mathematical Disrespect even charted on the Billboard Hot 100.
Mathematical Disrespect.
Few songs with hundreds of millions of streams.
No snitching, take your bitch for drinker. Sean Rock, you're crazy.
On Spotify, with every song playing on the gimmick that he is a
it's a vibe.
Rich preppy white kid pretending to be a gangster. Songs like Mr. Take Your Bitch, No Snitching, Teach Me How to Drill, Trip to the Hood, everything about Mabu's image relies on this gimmick. But like we've seen, unless you have more to your career than just a gimmick, it's bound to die.
Exactly.
I made a video about Lil Mabu a few months ago, and at the end I gave him credit saying I'm excited to see how he prolongs his career because I thought he was decent when it came to marketing. However, shortly after that video, he released his debut album Young Genius, and it didn't do too well.
Not gonna lie, man, Mabu, this shit is dreadful. Dreadful is crazy.
Reviewed by both critics and
no auto-tune, no mixing, just straight ass.
fans, people thought the album was very bad, and I can't say I disagree with them.
Dang. What? I'm mad you made me have to listen to that, bro. That sounds like something a TikToker would make as a skit song.
People are seemingly getting tired of the rich white kid pretending to be a gangster gimmick that he's been doing for years, as his numbers seem to be stagnating. Now, I'm not saying his career is dead. It's very possible he could fix this, but
I think I'm cool on that. Like, I'm good. I'm not wishing his career dies, but it's definitely not gonna get a listen from me.
His career is extremely reliant on this very tired gimmick. One viewer commented on my video saying, Mabu is entertaining, but I feel like rappers like him just don't last long after their momentum. The white boy trend gets boring after a while, but we'll see how far this one goes.
That's unfortunately the correct. That's actually really, really accurate. Sigh.
And this comment mentions
you know, I had to do it to him.
How this happens a lot.
That Ian, brother.
I mean, look at Ian, who is playing on the nerdy white kid talking about hard stuff gimmick, just like many others who have come before him. I do think he's got some good songs, but if he keeps harping on this gimmick,
you gotta elevate, bro. You can't rely on this gimmick, bro. Think about all the white rappers that came out accentuated. Like, look, first it was Macklemore, then it was G-Eazy, then it was Jack Harlow, now it's Ian and Lil Mabu. Why is it that we can't have a consistent? Why can't we have the only person who's able to do it in last generations is Eminem? Okay, you know what I'm saying? That's because Eminem, he evolved from the gimmick. You know, he dropped classic platinum hits that weren't gimmick songs, and that's how he was able to survive generational talent. Why do you want to play up the fact that you're white so much, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, when's the last time Eminem sat and made a song talking about how he's white? Bro, no, bro. Just work on your craft and make a good song. Like, golly.
Don't see his career having much longevity. An example of a rapper who had a fake tough persona but still had a great career was Rick Ross. And I know you're thinking, how can you?
Because he used to be a security guard before he became a rapper. He was literally a CEO. He already was rich. He already owned his own business. That man is not no gangster.
You compare Lil Mabu to Rick Ross. Are you crazy? Hear me out. I've covered Rick Ross a few times on this channel about how he faked his entire image and stole his name from Freeway Rick Ross, the notorious drug lord. And Freeway Ricky spoke
I didn't know he stole his name from a drug lord. What the hell?
On Rick Ross stealing his name and image and even tried to sue him. He also went to school for criminal justice and was
he was quite literally an op before he became a rapper.
A correctional officer. So when his debut single Hustlin' was about him selling drugs and knowing other drug lords, it was a little bit backwards.
Yeah.
And most fans know that Rick Ross was lying about half the stuff he's rapping about, but most don't care for simple reasons.
Because it sounds good.
One, his music is actually good and he's consistently put out good verses throughout his entire career. And
go ahead and see that Devil in that one with the Kanye West song, Devil in New Dress.
Two, he doesn't try too hard to act hard like Lil Mabu does.
Yeah.
Ross makes it look natural, so much so that even while knowing about his lies, many fans still believe he's about what he raps about. Ricky Rose's gimmick is not the singular reason he is successful, which is why he has had so much longevity. Mabu, however, is relying too heavily on his gimmick and may end up facing the consequences. If Mario Judah is the epitome of a gimmick rapper, then Lil Pump is a gimmick rapper incarnate. I just looked up
oh my god.
synonyms for epitome to make my point, but they're both the same word. I'm not as smart as I try to sound. But Lil Pump relied on gimmicks so much that the only time you hear about him these days is because
when he's doing something stupid, or he says something stupid, or he's at a Trump rally.
Because of gimmicks. Lil Pump started blowing up with tracks like D-Rose and Boss on SoundCloud. And one thing about these songs is that they weren't very thoughtful. They were instead ignorant with terrible lyricism.
Yeah, but they just sounded good.
But they were fun, which is why people like them. Pump wasn't shy about his songs being ignorant either, as it was literally something he mentioned quite often. I mean, one of his earliest songs is called Ignorant.
Like, come on, bro. You can't be mad at this. You can't be mad at this. This is, come on, bro.
Where he says, people hating on me because I'm ignorant. And on one of his most popular songs, I Love It with Kanye, he says,
I know Kanye is the one who designed that cover art with his horny ass.
Me and my people getting ignorant like a lighter, we ignorant. So Pump and his music was unapologetically ignorant, which was attractive to his younger fans who thought it was a cool, rebellious attitude.
But as you grow up, bro, you can't keep doing that. And J. Cole tried to tell him, and he didn't want to listen to J. Cole, and now he makes his money by going overseas, apparently. I didn't know that, and being on OnlyFans.
On top of that, the multitude of ignorant gimmicks he did on social media really helped him go viral.
You're going 70 miles per hour. How long would it take you to drive 70 miles? 70, nigga?
Pump was playing on the fact that he was ignorant, stupid, obnoxious, and just trying to have fun.
Stupid, bro.
He leveraged that to his advantage, and tons of young kids followed him thinking he was funny and entertaining. Well, maybe he wasn't doing it on purpose. Maybe he just was.
He really is stupid. No, I think he definitely played it up, but I feel like he really meant the 70, though.
Stupid and ignorant and whatever. I don't know, but regardless, it was a marketing gimmick. However, it seemed like over time, people's interest in his gimmicks began outweighing their interest in his music. It was entertaining to people.
I didn't know that Lil Pump is the one who did that laugh.
For a couple of years, but eventually it got played out. It's hard to explain how ignorant and obnoxious this whole era was if you weren't there.
Yeah, because everybody was doing the exact same thing Lil Pump was doing, trying to make a viral. They were more worried about becoming memes than they were about becoming actual artists.
But everyone on Instagram was fiending for clout, making crazy videos, including
The clout era was one of the darkest eras, bro. I'm telling you.
Lil Pump.
Say no to drugs.
Oh, yeah.
A kid's coloring book. And you can sample this for some of your records.
This is good because I could barely read, so I like looking at pictures better, you know? And everything.
This nigga.
Sitting down, bitch. You shutting down school shows, all that, bitch. All of that. All that.
Askada!
Skitty!
Oh, brother.
Okay, that clip was a little funny, but most of it was an aardvark. After the massive success of Gucci Gang, it was all downhill from there.
Yeah.
He did see success with songs like Designer,
Skid It,
Welcome to the Party, I Love It, and some other songs, but the numbers were consistently
But then it's like after I Love It, bro, it was like just a drop.
going down. By the end of 2020, Pump's numbers have dropped significantly.
That's
It was the
insane.
same repetitive songs coupled with the same repetitive gimmicks. He didn't grow up with his fans. Instead, he kept trying to be the dumb, ignorant kid that was always going viral. But he kept attempting the same gimmicks years later, which at that point just looked desperate. Like when he went to a
It looked real corny.
Trump rally and Trump said his name wrong.
Lil Pimp.
Little pimp.
It was
Little Pimp.
so out of character, and Pump was clearly just looking for attention, especially since he was saying F Trump years prior. Jake Cole even predicted this on the song 1985 when he said, "One day them kids that's listening gonna grow up and get too old for that shit that made you blow up. Now your show's looking light because they don't show up, which unfortunately means the money's slow up. Now you scrambling and hoping to get hot again, but you forgot you only popped because you was riding trends."
That man read him like a magazine, not even a book, just a magazine, bro.
J. Cole was able to recognize that this gimmick Pump was doing was eventually going to get old and that his fans were going to get tired of it. Pump still is stuck in his ignorant ways. He never changed up his sound and has continued the same.
He's denying everything too. If you ask him what's it like falling off, he will actually look at you like you're crazy.
Ignorant, rebellious gimmick throughout his entire career. Someone who utilized a similar gimmick and then shifted was Playboy Carti. And again, you guys are going to think these comparisons are all crazy, but I promise you they're not.
I mean, I guess I don't really know, because Playboy Carti's gimmick was like being like a rock star, but I feel like nowadays he plays more into that, but he's kind of like really perfected how it looks now.
When Carti first came out, people were saying the same things about him. They were calling him a mumble rapper with no lyrical substance who just repeats words. Of course, Carti wasn't like fiending for clout on social media like Pump was, but he also wasn't spitting life-changing bars in his music.
Exactly.
However, what Carti did was he evolved and he pivoted. He changed both his sound and his gimmick. Rather than doing the whole ignorant SoundCloud rapper thing forever, he switched to a weird, mysterious vampire rock star thing.
That's what I'm saying.
And regardless of what you think about it, his fans eat it up. I'm sure he won't keep doing this thing forever, and when people start getting bored of it, I'm sure he'll pivot again. That's one thing that a lot of these gimmick rappers struggle with, and that is knowing when to pivot to something new rather than exhausting the same gimmick for years on end.
Exactly.
Which is exactly why people got tired of Lil Pump. Sure, the ignorant and goofy gimmick
it doesn't help that the music that you're dropping is categorically just ass.
It's funny for a few years, but eventually people tend to grow up and get tired of it. 6ix9ine is another rapper who's
this dude has one of the saddest downfalls I ever seen, because I liked Gummo. I say it, I liked Gummo. I even liked a couple of his other songs after Gummo. Like I like the one he had with Trippie Redd, but like it's like as soon as he got outed for snitching, he played into the snitch role and he quickly became the internet's troll that nobody liked. It like he wasn't even funny.
Main gimmick was controversy, and a lot of it. It was like 6ix9ine's objective was to be annoying, problematic, and obnoxious.
He wanted to be a troll.
So Tekashi 6ix9ine first got major attention with the song Gummo in 2017, and right out of the gate he's provocative. Whether it's the rainbow hair and grills, the 6ix9ine's tatted all over his body and face, or him having a felony for getting active with a minor. Everything.
Nah, I ain't know that. I ain't know that.
Thing about 6ix9ine was controversial.
How many people came for me? How many people? A lot. Why? Because I'm the hottest artist. And nobody ever gonna take.
You don't think telling people to suck your dick online got anything to do with it too?
Nah, I tell niggas suck my every day.
After this, he had a bunch more songs. He's success like Kuda.
He is right though. No, as much as he's done, as much as he's talked, as much as he ran his mouth, nobody until recently has like actually popped him in his mouth, bro. And it kind of showed. Okay, yeah, he is running his mouth, but like. Niggas also run their mouths too, like you know what I'm saying.
Kiki, Fifi, and a bunch of other weirdly named songs. He even got to work with Kanye West, which honestly, after all the collabs he'd been giving out around that time period, wasn't ultra impressive.
Yeah.
But even though Gummo may have banged in 2017, his music was pretty objectively not that great. I mean, he even said it himself.
Only cool because I could tell him the truth and he's not gonna get offended. Most people gonna get offended.
I'm not, bro. I know my music is trash. It's just hot trash, you know what I'm saying?
Tekashi focused way more on gimmicks like looking funny, acting hard, and making these rainbow music videos rather than actually trying to make good music. And honestly, with
I liked his music videos.
His voice, he probably could have made some hard songs, but his focus was in other places. Like I said, during this era, everyone was fiending for clout and acting unstoppable.
Oh my God, Boom Gang. But shout out John Gabbana though. He changed his life around. He a good dude now.
And 6ix9ine was one of them. He was beefing with every artist in the game, including Casanova,
Jesus.
Bad Baby, Pierre Bourne, Trippie Redd, YG, City Morgue, and many more artists.
Yeah, he was just doing the most.
And of course, you can't forget his gang affiliation that was heavily intertwined into his gimmick. Not only was he controversial in his looks and his actions, but he acted like a gangster online and in his music. He was arrested multiple times for choking a 16-year-old boy, operating a vehicle without a license, his sexual...
People use this meme like crazy. It's like the categorical snitch meme.
Misconduct case, and more. One of his associates was even arrested for shooting at Casanova's crew while they were shooting a music video.
You can't act like a gangster, do all these gangster things, and then get outed for snitching.
Forbes said 6ix9ine wore these altercations as badges of honor, using them to boost his credibility. Speaking of credibility, 6ix9ine even joined a gang for his image, as he believed he was securing a form of protection and a stamp of street authenticity that would guarantee musical stardom. Of course, as we all know, this resulted in him snitching, being labeled as a rat, and losing all of his credibility after being arrested on RICO charges. And while he did see some success after this, people got tired of hearing the same old songs from the loud, rainbow-headed weirdo.
I actually haven't heard nothing from 6ix9ine in years. Like, not even in the media. Like, does he still make music at all? Park. That's not him. That's him? Papita Frita. Ow, what? What the hell is this? FIFA, fa, buddy. 100 Ways, Shakalaka. This got 77 million views. I about threw up, bro. I'm good.
Who still thought controversy was going to help his career. If you check out his last album, his numbers are pitiful compared to what they once were, because his gimmick got old. The Forbes article I referenced earlier was called "Tekashi 6ix9ine Built a Career Out of Controversy, Now It May Destroy Him," which is essentially what happened.
It is exactly what happened. 2018.
People were tired of the controversy. Can you guess who I'm going to compare 6ix9ine to? Eminem. To some of the fools out there, this may sound like another crazy comparison.
No, because Eminem was extremely controversial. Man, he had one song where he was talking about like bro, this nigga was not afraid to say anything. He used to say little boys. Nigga was outrageous, bro.
But Eminem,
he made a song where he pretended that he had a psychotic break and murdered a bunch of people at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's 3 a.m. in the morning. Put my keys in the door and body lays all over the floor, and I don't remember how they got there, but I guess I must have killed them. Eminem
also largely built a lot of his popularity somewhat off of controversy. He's been accused of being homophobic, a misogynist, blamed for school beef.
That's insane. I never heard that.
With tons of celebrities, accused of being racist, and many more. But regardless,
his beef with Mariah Carey was actually one of the funniest beefs I've ever seen. Shout out to Eminem for that. That's one of the hardest diss tracks. To admit that you busted quick just to diss somebody is another level of hate, bro. That is untouchable levels of hate.
Regardless of the massive amount of controversy that Eminem has been involved in, his music was good. It was really good. That's why
it was good, and then he eventually stopped doing the gimmick.
He has such a diehard fan base and is one of the best-selling rappers of all time. His music, while being somewhat controversial, stands on its own. Eminem doesn't need to go do something crazy to get you to listen to his new song. On top of that, Eminem didn't push it nearly as far as 6ix9ine. Eminem may have said he was gonna kill someone in his songs, but he never actually put out hits on people or was involved in gangs. He didn't need street cred because he was telling his story through his music. 6ix9ine had to prove himself elsewhere because his music didn't speak for itself. Well, nowadays, many people would say Eminem's controversial, rebellious gimmick is getting old, to which I'd probably agree. It's a gimmick that back in the day worked, and he didn't solely rely on it. When M wasn't saying super controversial things,
he was actually speaking real facts.
He was making songs like Lose Yourself, Mockingbird, and Stand, some of the best rap songs ever. I say all of this to say, if you're an artist, don't rely too heavily on gimmicks. In this video, we've gone over artists who relied on them too much and failed.
It sucks because some of these gimmick rappers also had like actual genuine potential. They just didn't have the right mindset for it. And sometimes that's really what it comes down to. Sometimes some people are just not meant to be like famous for real because they don't understand longevity and stuff. Like, I don't know. I'd rather spend a long time building up a solid fan base than to go viral and fall off all in the same year.
And artists who utilize them just the right amount to see success and capitalize on it. And I'm kind of getting sick of all these rappers coming out now with these stupid gimmicks and going viral on TikTok. Well, on the other hand, their music is half-baked and not good. So if you were planning on doing that, I hope after watching this video, you may have a bit of reconsideration.
Or at least you've realized that you need to make like actually good songs and stuff. But just my opinion. LOL. Like, good video. That's got to be racist. Hell yeah. Yep, but good video by MattyBallz. Still don't like your name, dude. MattyBallz is a crazy name.